Hey guys, sorry for being inactive for so long. Today I am going to share my 2025 Prelims exam hall experience. I feel like it is my duty to share my experience with juniors who are going to attempt their first prelims this year. Hope you can learn something. So I had solved paper in two rounds. So I would suggest whenever you start, whenever you get question paper, just skim through the paper once and always start with the subject you are comfortable in solving. So I had skimmed through the paper and my mindset was set D, but it is I found online the set A. So no worries, we'll solve from this only. Let's start with question 1. So the question is asking, with reference to the investment, consider the following and how many of the above are treated as alternative investment funds. I don't actually know the answer, but we can reach the answer by eliminating the options. So break the term into two parts. I had solved this way only, that this is alternative and it is investment fund. So we are talking about something which is alternative to the investment that we do. So bonds we generally do and stocks we generally do. So it is not alternative to investment funds. And hedge funds and venture capital, I don't know that we invest directly or not. So I had marked option 2 only. Might be correct. And let's go to the question 2, which is asking which of the following are the sources of income of RBI. Income of RBI, ठीक है. So the options are buying and selling of government bonds, okay, buying and selling of foreign currency, okay, pension fund management, lending to private companies, printing and distributing currency notes. I know this is not a, you know, earning for RBI, but some coaching institutes itself giving the wrong answer of this question. I don't know why. So I had eliminated the option 5, so I was in 50-50 zone. So I left it for a while, and then at last, when I would suggest you guys also to, you know, make 50-50 some questions and attempt them in second round, so it makes your life easier to solve those questions first which you know 100%. It also increases your accuracy. So in the second round, what I had done is buying and selling of government bonds also generates income for RBI. I had marked option 1 and not 2. I don't know it is correct or not. I had marked it this way only. Let us proceed to the next question. So let's see the question number 3. These are the type of question that you should be leaving in first go, and if you are not, you know, attempting the required number of questions, so then you should try these type of questions, because generally we don't, study these kind of questions, so we will skip them in first round. Let's see the question number 4. So the question is asking, consider the following statements. The RBI mandates all the listed companies in India to submit business responsibility and sustainability report. So I was very, susceptible to the things that RBI now, why do RBI, regulating companies per se? RBI is the regulator of bank, not companies. So I marked it incorrect. And for the second statement, in India, companies submitting BRSR makes disclosure in the report that are largely non-financial in nature. So what is this BRSR? It is business responsibility and sustainability report. So responsibility and sustainability. So I, you know, rather than going for D none, I I got this as right and marked B as the option. I don't know whether it is right or wrong. I'm just telling you my exam, how I had attempted the paper. So on question number 5th, let's see statement. These are the statement type questions. These are very easy to do if you can eliminate one of the statement, either of the two. So statement 1 is asking, in India, income from allied agriculture activities like pottery, farming and wool rearing in rural areas is exempted from any tax. So I know that agricultural income is exempted from income tax per se, but I don't know allied activities are also exempted from any tax. So let's read the statement 2. In India, rural agricultural land is not considered as a capital asset under the provisions of Income Tax Act. So I know this is right, but Income Tax Act does not applies to agriculture. So with this, I had considered that it as right in the exam, and also it is explaining statement in a way that agriculture and allied activities. So I marked option A as the answer. I don't know whether it is correct or not. So let's proceed to the question number 6. Consider the following statements. First is, India has joined Mineral Security Partnership as a member. I don't know. India is a resource rich country in all 30 critical minerals that it has identified. So I know that they are crucial rare earth critical minerals, and we are deficient in these. So why would we resource rich in these in these minerals? So I had eliminated this option, and by this I had reached the answer as option C. I don't have to read the third statement. Let's proceed to the question number 7. So these are statement 1 to 3 type questions, and were shocks for few students, but I had analyzed PYQs. So in 2024, UPSC has already asked some questions like these. So I was ready that this year might the weightage of these questions might increase. So this was not a shocking factor for me. So what happens in these questions is, if you go through the options, there will be always the first statement will be right. The first statement will be always right. So let's read the first statement. As regards returns from an investment in a company, generally bondholders are considered to be relatively low at risk than stockholders. So this is a very general statement we study in economics. And let's see what is other statements. Bondholders are lenders to a company, whereas stockholders are owners. This is correct. Let's see how it is explaining this, because I had proceeded like this, that bondholders are lenders, that like bank lends an individual. If he bankrupt somehow, so he has to pay bank somehow. So they are at lower risks. I mean, banks are at lower risk than individual himself. So I found it correct and explaining too. And statement number 3, for repayment purpose, bondholders are prioritized over stockholders by a company. So I also marked it right and explaining the statement 1, because compared it with an analogy of an individual and a bank, that if if the individual is going bankrupt, he has to repay the loan first, then his condition will be considered, I think, like that. I think like that. So I had marked that both statement 2 and 3 had explaining statement 1. So I thought it was correct, and maybe it is correct, I think. And let's go to question number 8. So question number 8 is asking, consider the following statement. Statement 1, India accounts for a very large portion of all equity options contracted traded globally, thus exhibited a great boom. I don't know, but it is an extreme statement. India's stock market has grown rapidly in the recent past, even out overtaking Hong Kong's at some point of time. I don't know this too. But read statement number 3. There is no regulatory body either to warn small investors and risk option trading or to do act or unregistered financial advisors in this regard. So I know it is wrong because SEBI is there. So I reached the answer without even knowing the complete question. So I would suggest you guys also to skim through the question entirely once. Don't give up on option one or two only. Read the entire question, I would say. Let's proceed to the question number 9. This is also, see, statement 1 to 3 question. So I think I marked it wrong, or I don't know. Let's read this statement 1. Statement 1 says circular economy reduces the emissions of greenhouse gas. We have to consider it right because options are such. Okay, by the way, it is true also. So circular economy reduces the use of raw material as inputs. It is correct. And circular economy reduces wastage in the production process. I think it is also correct because the economy is circular, that goods are flowing in the economy from one point to another and then again to the initial point. So I think I thought that yeah, both statements are correct, and in a way they are explaining the statement one. So I also marked it option A. I don't know, again I don't know it is correct or not, so we're not talking about that. We proceed to the question number 10. What it says that consider the following statements: capital receipts create liability or cause a reduction in the asset of the government. It is capital receipt, liability on government or asset of the government. It is right, it is capital receipt. Okay. Borrowing and disinvestments are capital receipts. So disinvestment, in a way reduces assets of government. So I marked it also right. And last statement, that interest received on a loan created a liability of the government. Interest received on a loans creates a liability of the government. Why would a interest that is received will cause a liability on the government? So I marked it wrong. And in a way that I got option A as correct. I don't know how much question out of 10 I am getting right or wrong, but I am just telling my experience and options that I had marked. So if you guys want to continue this series, I would complete it in 2 or 3 more videos, but you have to show some enthusiasm in order to continue this. Thank you so much, and please forgive me for this kind of, I'm not a professional and I'm not here to earn something. I'm just here performing my duty. So if you want, guys, I will continue the series. Thank you so much.